Good morning. It's Perspective on Osrc TV. I'm Isusa Munilari, and happy weekend. It's a beautiful weekend and I'm so excited about the weekend. But you know, I don't do this alone. As you know, Perspective is a program where we talk about the big stories that happen during the course of the week, and then we have our focus, but also we get to review some newspaper headlines. But like I said, I don't do this alone. I have my beautiful ladies with me. Good morning.
Good morning, beautiful ladies. Yes, it's Perspective, where opinions meet insights. And we are here this morning, a beautiful morning from us here, from our studios here, Osrc TV. And thank you for joining us once again. Sharon.
Good morning, Tia. I'm fine. Thank you. You look amazing.
Thank you. You're not bad, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. And just like she said, we have our own views of things and we try to contribute our little quota to it. And I'm glad you're here with us.
You know, talking about views and opinions about things, there's something I would like us to debunk, because a few weeks ago there was an allegation for that allegedly a man defiled his 5-year-old and his 2-year-old daughter, and this was brought to the note. I think it happened in Enugu, and the wife came to say that this is what the husband did. She found out this. Now the children were interrogated because, you know, of course the police came to pick up the man, to arrest the man, and then during the course of the investigation, it's been found, like they found out now that it's actually not true, that it's wrong, that it didn't happen.
False allegation.
It's a false allegation. Now imagine the extent. If maybe they didn't do the due diligence, and now this man is being charged for something he didn't do. How can you even tell that's the issue. When people come out and say things like this happened to them, how will they now believe them when people are now using things like this to scam people, to lie, and just to blackmail people?
See, I fear my gender. People should, we should do better. You know, the other day when the case of lecturer, student,
yes,
and then they spelled out the penalty. You know, my fear is the fact that some people will stage it. Some students will want to take advantage of that
situation,
come out with false
allegations
like that, and something like that will happen. What about innocent people? Please, let's do better. My gender, our gender.
Honestly,
let's do better.
You know,
it doesn't matter who you are, but then don't use it as to your advantage. Don't use it. Don't be that way. That's my take on it, anyway.
You know, I've heard something similar to this. You know, the wife traveled outside the country, and the husband is here with the children, the 2 girls, and the girls phoned their mother saying that their father is having a carnal knowledge of them. The woman had to fly down, divorce the man, pick the children,
and travel
back. After some years, that was when the children came to tell her the truth, that it was all a lie, that the husband their father was being overprotective
of them.
He doesn't let them go out. He doesn't let them stay out long with friends and all that. But it was too late.
Because the deed has already
been done. And the image has been spoiled already.
The image has been spoiled. Even the marriage has gone down.
It has gone. So what will you benefit as a child? In those days, we don't tell this kind of lies. You know, there's this saying, children don't lie about adults. Or
there are just some things you don't lie about. Something with so much, that holds so much consequences.
It's too extreme.
Because now, I think what we should also look at is just the same way we are looking for penalties for the perpetrators of this act, those that also lie against people, yes, there should be something.
There should be penalties.
Because there should be penalties. If not, a lot of people would start misusing this and start saying, "Oh, this man tried to do this to me."
You know, we talked about this last week, and it's I don't know why this thing keep happening, especially with our gender. Now I'm not going to paint our gender black, I'm just going to be
just like you said, we fear this gender.
And bringing children into this.
Yes, bringing children into this. It's too extreme.
The children.
Yes.
These 2 cases you raised now. The first one, it was just because the children said no, it didn't happen. After so much
interrogation. They said, "Mommy said I should say this."
Can you imagine?
So imagine.
So assuming that didn't come up, and that man went to jail, what would it
because there is no way. I think it was
woman.
based on what the children said, that Mommy said we should say this if we are being asked. That was what prompted further investigation, and they did medical check on them, and they found out that they are still very well intact. Do you understand? So now imagine if this wasn't done and the man gets to go to jail. What does this woman get to benefit? If you have issues with your husband, there are ways to go about
Walk
it.
away.
Walk away.
You don't have to tarnish each other's
because now
reputation.
even the children's pictures are out there, and we know that the internet never forgets.
Never.
And
Because-
and the role that the children play also in the story you gave as well.
Yes.
You know, I mean, coming
To lie
and
just because
Just
the dad
be-
is
yes,
protecting
exactly.
them. Do you know what? You know they always say you don't know what you have until
Until you
it's
lose
gone.
it.
A lot of people want this protection from their family because we see where guardians and parents are even the one defiling children.
Of
And then
course.
you see someone that is so protective of you, and then you feel
And
it's a
doesn't want
problem.
you to ruin your life.
And you feel it's a problem. You feel the need to tell lie against him. And imagine the kind of lie. You could have just told them, you can, there are other ways, other things to do,
No, why
but
should
not
you
telling you that your dad
There's
is
no
trying to
other
have-
way. There's no other way. Because if you're saying there are other ways, that's
Why should you even lie?
You
to
should
the
No,
children?
no, no. I'm not talking about lying against the father. I'm just saying if maybe it's the protection. Tell your mommy that, oh, he's too protective. Please talk to your husband. Do you
That is,
understand?
talk to your husband.
Talk to your husband, but not the
our father.
yes, you know how children can be when they are angry. They'll not be like, "Mommy, talk to your husband," and then you see when the parents will be like, "Daddy, talk to your children." So you could actually just say, "Mommy, talk to your husband. He's too protective," and then maybe they'll look for a way to like let the dad be more
Balance it.
flexible with them, but not going to the extent of saying like even the children they didn't even consider their reputation. Because now your friends would know that, oh, this is what is happening in her home. So the father is doing this. So she didn't even consider her own reputation. She just decided
Maybe
to.
the children came out of guilt.
It's not even about that, but the fact that the children, you know, of the marriage.
That's
Yes.
sad.
So that's-
Imagine.
Yes. I mean, why should you?
Well, I guess, what are we
I think
even
we'll
going
use
to
this
say?
as, maybe they should use it as an example for others.
Mm.
You know, they shouldn't just let her go like that. There should be
She
a
should face
penalty
the
for that.
consequences.
Yes.
I know she's already in the custody of the police. So I just want, mine is she should face the consequences of her action.
Now let's bring it back to the marriage. Will it still stand? Will the man still want the marriage?
If it is
after-
you, would you still want the marriage? Because do you know that
To err is human.
to err is- they said to forgive is divine, and I saw one thing, and the person said, "But my name is not divine, so I'm not." No, they're just.
We'll
although
change the name to divine
it's something that they can reconcile. It is wrong reconcile if they want to, but at this point, I think it's the man's decision to make if he wants to still go on. But then imagine if he was not vindicated and he gets to go in for this. Would you still be
Yeah,
talking
true.
about the marriage? I think the woman went too far.
And the woman
She went
didn't
too
want
far.
the marriage in the first
Yeah,
place.
she
But
went too
prior to
far.
have said that didn't
She
want the
went too
marriage in the
far.
first place.
She went too far.
Because only God knows if you come back to the marriage, only God knows what
was
else
extreme.
to expect.
Maybe he will want to, unalive the man.
She'll probably unalive herself and
Or
save the
something-
man.
yes.
Who
Well,
knows?
long story short, I think there should be penalties.
There
for
should be
such-
penalties
yes,
for
there
such
should
things.
be.
All right, it's still Perspective on OSRC TV. Let's go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll head straight to the newspaper reviews. back. It's still Perspective on Osrc TV, and now we'll be going straight to our newspapers reviews that we have for the week. And the first one is coming from the Nation newspaper. We have this headline saying Saraki writes off
No, we have the big story. I have respect for military, but but that's coming from Falana. XCDS, Irabo Falls weakest action. FG holds planned 15% import duty on petrol diesel. You can find it on page 11. And troops foil abduction of 74 NYSC members in Borno, page 22 of the Nigerian Tribune. How misinformation on capital gains tax sparked 4.6 trillion naira market loss. You can find it on page 12. Reps move to suspend 2026 WIAC computer-based examination policy. And that's on page 3. Senate launches probe into stamp duty. All right. And do we still have any? NCP approves BPE move to say AFAM power plant to Transco Power Consortium. PDP seeks to join Bayelsa Deputy Governor's suit against moves to impeach him. Chronic kidney disease is now ninth leading cause of death globally. You can find it on page 2. And that's all that we've got for you today from the Nigerian Tribune. All right, we have other stories.
Okay, moving to the Vanguard newspaper. No religious persecution, genocide in Nigeria, says Idris. PFN asks Trump to support Tinubu against insecurity, rejects military threats. Trump echoed what Nigerians of good conscience have been saying, Peter Obi. AMCON officials and lawyers face alleged contempt charges for contravention of court orders. Osimhen shoots Super Eagles past Gabon to meet Congo DRC in playoff final on Sunday. Coming from Mr. and Mrs. And I will buy a brand new car for you this Christmas. And she says, you don't mean it. Then Christmas carol will change this year to jingle car, jingle all the way. That's all from the Vanguard newspaper.
Okay, moving on to the Punch newspaper. PDP delegates arrive amid Saraki's cancellation movement. And there's a writer that says ex-Senate President George, top PDP leaders clash over caretakers committee plan as INEC reviews judgment. That's on page 2. Tinubu shifts 15% fuel import duty to Q1 2026. That's on page 19. National Assembly shifts WIAC CBT adoption to 2030. That's on page 3. Genocide interview, don't panic. Piers Morgan tells Tuga. That's on page 14. Airlines reject fresh $11.50 NIS fee. That's on page 19. And that's all we have from the Punch newspaper.
As taken stories making headlines on Daily Independent newspaper, we have the big one, inflation seen easing to 16.29%, but tight policy to remain. ADC slams Tinubu over 1.5 trillion naira loan, like fiscal recklessness. BOT confident PDP convention can hold cites legal clearance. Senate backs bill to ban recruitment of minors into armed forces. We are building a confident judiciary, says NJI administrator. Pick that up on page 7. I have great respect for the armed forces, says Wiki. You can catch that on page 29. Again, FG insists no threat to religious freedom in Nigeria. And that's on page 6. Stakeholders to move and accord party tussle. Suspend rival faction. Catch that on page 29. Suspension of 15% fuel import duty viewed as timely economic relief. Okay, and Tinubu praises Super Eagles over 4-1 defeat of Gabon, and that's a good one. And that's all we've got for you on Daily Independent this morning.
Okay, moving on to Daily Trust. The big headline says PDP convention delegates arrives in Ibadan and make calls for caretaker committee. How I managed diabetes for 20 years, says a 75-years-old man. That's on page 7 and 9. Reps asks WAEC to suspend CBT for 2026 exam. That's on page 38. Nigeria inch closer to 2026 World Cup tickets. You can find that on page 47. Marketers welcome suspension of 15% fuel import levy. That's on page 27 too. That's all for Daily Trust newspaper.
Okay, moving on to The Guardian. Victims bear scars, endure trauma as law remains on paper. That's on page 4 and 5. Passengers stranded after train breaks down in Kaduna. That's on page 29. Tax burden on airlines threatens aviation sector. Operators warns. That's on page 7. Confusion, crisis swell around PDP convention amid conflicting court order. That's on page 6. AU chief dismisses genocide claim as Obi tax editors on national building. That's on page 6. Senate consider bills subjecting military conviction to court review. That's on page 3. ASU may resume full-blown strike on November 21 over selective implementation of pact. That's on page 3. Nigerians supplied 12.6 million barrels to Dangote, says NMDPRA. That's on page 3. And lastly, ADC says fresh 1.15 trillion naira loan exposes Tinubu's addiction to reckless debt. That's on page 3 of the Guardian newspaper.
I guess that's all we've got.
I think on Punch Sports, we still have Punch Sports.
Okay, Punch Sports, we've got Barca battle Chelsea, PSG for Osimhen. And another one says Barca Madrid to battle for Yediz. Okay. Spain coach dismisses Yamal Cavara field. And will Liverpool's problem? York. Okay. Martin on. Eagles cage Panthers to reach World Cup playoff finals versus Democratic Republic of Congo. Tinubu charges team on Mondial ticket. Okay. All right, and that's all we've got for you on Punch Sports Extra this morning. Yep.
All right, thank you. Well, okay, thank you so much. Let's go on a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be going straight to the focus of today. Please stay with us. TV. And if this is the point where we have our focus for today, and we'll be talking on the rebranding of, okay, the focus is called to rebrand Nigeria, and our guest is a public affairs analyst, Mr. Henry Olonimoyo. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me. Good morning,
It's nice to
Nigerians.
have you on the show.
Good morning.
Okay, so the federal government has urged advertising and communication professionals to play a leading role in reshaping Nigerians' image, both at home and abroad, noting that the industry has a crucial responsibility to highlight the country's strengths, counter misinformation, and project a narrative of unity, resilience, and opportunity. What do you think about that, urging the communication and the advertising and professionals to play a leading role in reshaping Nigerians' image?
Thank you very much. So, it's good to know that we have a Minister of Information now. In the last 2 weeks, he has been up and down, and I know he's connected with the Trump issue. We have seen him hold now meetings now constantly now pushing out information. Normally, the Minister of Information is not supposed to be someone who is eating.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be everywhere. I mean, I have a nostalgic feelings of, nostalgic flashbacks of past ministers of information in Nigeria. Some of them I know their names on the head, who are always on the media, always talking, pushing the image of the country. So it's good to see that he's having that now. Better late than never. Now, about rebranding Nigeria and expecting advertising professionals to take the lead, I think that cannot work. I think government has to lead. I mean, people in government, in public offices, they are the #1 image maker of the country, and they should do well to take the lead. Because if you want to be fair with this country, discover that many Nigerians across the world, inside the country, outside the country, are doing so well to project our good image. A lot of them, in spite of whether government has assisted them or not. But if you ask today anything that puts a blinder on the image of the country today, it has to link it to politics, to political office holders. They can take the lead. Firstly, let's have political office holders who actually went to school and who have certificates. That's the first. Let's have political office holders whose background is verifiable, whose integrity is top notch. When we have people like that, then we can now say yes. Others can take a cue from them and lead. I mean, and follow their lead. But to expect others to lead, why political office holders take the background? No. I think government must take the lead.
Okay,
on this.
so in government taking the lead, what do you think they should do? How can they lead by example?
So it's clear. So #1, when you're a governor, you're a president, you're an House of Assembly member at the state level, you are a lawmaker at the federal level, it's expected that the country is paying you, #1. #2, you are supposed to be the point of call, first point of call for the people, even for the country, especially when you're outside the country also. And it's expected that you should be held to high level of values and morals. I mean, we shouldn't see public office holders throwing jibes at each other, we have had cases in this country where you see people almost throwing physicals at each other.
Yep.
Yes, there's a reason why the National Assembly seats now are now fixed and cannot be
Detached.
it's not rooted.
Yes.
Because there used to be a time when they throw these things at each other across the country. So we must have people, public office holders, who could not descend into brawls or gutter language.
Yeah.
Even during campaigns, we must keep campaigns objective as possible. Speak to the matter and not descend into things that are not. We've just had one face-off in Abuja recently between the FCT minister. Now that's the person at the Federal Capital Territory of the country having a unnecessary back and forth with a soldier. This is not good image making. As far as I'm concerned, there's no reason why the FCT minister will be engaging a soldier in a conversation. Just, once you discover that is happening, you don't even need to be there. You just go and discuss with his superiors. But you are having back and forth, and then he's talking to you. Ordinarily, in some other cases, probably will be the one assigned to you to escort you to a place. So why should you be the one to be ordering back and forth? So this is an example of how we are not doing well with laundering our image.
Okay. Your emphasis has been on, people at the helms of affairs there, and you've also emphasized the need for them to do better. All right, now I understand that calling for rebranding now, and that's to say that there is a problem. That's to say that's confirming the fact that Nigeria has not been painted in a good image outside the country. The projection outside is not a good one. All right, you've emphasized the need for people who are up there. And what about, because I would want to see that rebranding now, if we don't, it's just like you packaging something. If the content is not good, and you are packaging what is, inside, and that's not a good one, because in the end, when you open it and you find out, you will still find out some way, people outside the world looking at us, will still find out that the content is bad. All right, let's talk about Nigerian citizens as well. People outside, projecting that image. We've seen cases, we've seen stories where they do, things that are not good, things that are not so okay. All right, and is it really about rebranding now? Should it be rebranding or addressing the realities? Because just like I said in the end, if you try to package the image and the content, what is happening is not really okay, people will still get to find out. So what's your take on it? What do you think? Is it really about rebranding? Or the real thing, addressing these factors that is projecting us and bad light out there?
Thank you very much. You've said a lot in just, so I must say that as far as I'm concerned today, most Nigerians in the diaspora are doing the country proud.
Okay.
Yes, we have cases here and there of one criminal act or the other, and I think it's not just limited to Nigeria. I don't want to play it out of, but if you put them on a balance, you discover that many Nigerians are doing us proud outside the country than we have all those who are dragging the name down.
Okay.
In sports, in medicals, in education, Nigerians are holding illustrious positions across the world, and that makes you proud that yes, I'm a Nigerian. That's on one side. Secondly, the idea that, and again, I must also say that the world is now a global village. So before I have to actually lay my hands on Washington Post or a foreign newspaper for me to know what's happening in a country. But today it's not like that.
It's
Just you can just check Twitter Nigeria, check X Nigeria, check Facebook Nigeria, and you know the conversation that's happening. You know what is trending in the place. So today it means that whatever is happening right within your country is being seen across the world. So it's not really about trying to put a picture, a front that we are not. And that's why I must come back to how you ended it by saying, see, we must ask ourselves, are there still Nigerian values? If there are Nigerian values, what are they? What do we stand for? We must be talking of rebuilding values. I must tell you, we're at an all-time low when it comes to value, character, integrity, national ethos. No matter what whoever is in government is saying is concerned, the truth is we are at zero. Because today, anything can happen. Anybody can come out and represent anything. Anybody can come out and say anything on national television. And he will get away with it, even though he's an elected person. There's no punishment for it. One of the ways they even shield themselves now is once they say we suspend you, then the suspension, and then that's the last we hear of it. So we hear a lot of things today, and I believe that our problem is much more than just rebranding. It was rebuilding our lost values. We must ask again, what does it mean to be a Nigerian?
Exactly.
What is the standard going to be? And what are the things that we will not take again? Again, you must ask ourselves, what's the minimum standard for somebody to be elected into office? Is it just the educational qualifications alone? What about character? Where do we stand on that? I had a friend who studied in Japan some years ago, and when he came back, he was just talking to me. He says, in Japan, if your name is even linked to corruption, to crime, there is a community shame. There's a shame that you bring to your community, your family. Some of them go to the lens of community suicide because it's a communal shame. People feel, oh, I'm from the same place where you are from. It's a shame that somebody like this is associated with something like this.
Yes.
But today, somebody is accused of crime and the rest, he gets a National Honors Award. Or today, if somebody is accused of crime, another governor protects him. It's happening in Nigeria. Yes, he said they are looking for you, wanted, and you are being protected, and you are speaking here and there. Former governor in the country, and you are still wanted. So when you see this, you can't just see it on one hand and say rebranding. Now, so we must, thank you for saying that, we must talk about actually rebuilding what the Nigerian value should be. What is the Nigerian spirit all about? What should we stand for? What is the minimum acceptable value? Such that if anybody goes beyond, below it, is pushed out. It has no place. And I speak to you, today as Nigeria stands, a political thug has chances of ruling the country, of holding political positions that are responsible people in the country.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Let's bring it to the media house now. I will ask two questions in one. What's your assessment of Nigerians' current brand image and how can it be improved? My second question is, what role can advertising agency and communication expert play in rebranding Nigeria?
So, what's our image now? Sorry, you know, when you hear the President of America say a disgraced country, he kept saying it. No, Trump has his own issues, but again, if you look at ourselves, are we really proud of our political space, our political leadership? We are not at all levels. There's nothing to be proud about. There is nothing to be proud about. Some of the things that make us still proud as being Nigerians is when you see Nigerians who are doing exploits in sports. I mean, you have an athlete in Nigeria who was disqualified from playing a role maybe in Olympics or so because Nigerian government or the sport officials refused to do the things they need to do for her. Having prepared for years to take part on the biggest athletic stage in the world, and she now discovered that she will not be able to participate because some who are being paid to do certain things did not do it. Favor Philly has resigned. She's not running from Nigeria again. She's running for another country. So what does it speak? These are people that they are taking care of themselves, employing their own trainers. They literally on the stage they have because they invested in themselves, not because the government did anything for them. So the little thing government needs to do for them, I mean, we just saw, the lady who is doing the hurdles, I've forgotten her name now, the athlete who is running on hurdles, she put a picture, did a video of what Nigerian Athletic Federation sent to her as their kit for their last event. She put it out, and she compared it to what is coming from America. Look at what they gave to them, but it's packaged. So you see, we are not doing well. The brand is we are not doing well, and the political leaders are probably at the forefront of this. Now, how can the media salvage the situation? Again, the idea about media is you report what you see, you report facts, report what is happening. So I think maybe what we can do is where we see people who are doing what is right, let's also push it out. As we're pushing out the other part that is not good, let's push out the part that is good, and begin to, I think we must also encourage Nigerians to unite when we are speaking against what is wrong, and not allow ourselves to be divided across tribe, religion, because it's your tribe's man, because it's from your religion, then whatever it does is right. It can do no wrong. No. We must align together. Somebody has done what is wrong, let's speak against it, let's denounce it, and then when people are doing what is right, let's push them to the forefront. Yeah.
Okay, that will bring me back to my third question.
Okay.
I hope I'm not okay. How can the federal government effectively partner with this agency to promote a positive image of Nigeria? You know, you earlier said the footballer, or the
athlete. Yeah.
yes, that they compare the kids. Nigerians kids and the American kids. So how can we improve this image? How can the federal government come in to improve this image?
So I think the first way is to call them out. And this is what we're doing. Let's call them out. It's why I just played the match yesterday. And before they played the match, they said they are usually not going to train or participate in the event if Nigerian Sport Commission did not pay outstanding arrears. And the captain of the team was tweeting and saying they will not play until settled. And says, when he's settled, I will also let you know the world is washing. The world is washing. So let's call them out. And now he has come out to say he's been settled. They played the match. So if we say we don't want to talk about it and just keep quiet and gloss over it, then we're not helping ourselves. Let's call them out where necessary. And irrespective of political affiliations, if Mr. Governor is not doing well, let's say, Mr. Governor, you're not doing well. Sit up. We want you to be successful. If you're successful, we are all successful. If you fail, in a way, we have all failed.
It's a collective thing.
So let's call it out. Then when we call it out, number two, let's also call it out. Let's give constructive criticism. Oh, why don't you do it this way? Why don't you do it that way? Then by suggesting all of these things, then let's also now commend when we see improvements.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, you've said we, and that, you know, it's pointing at something that it's a collective thing. But then emphasis on, you said rebuilding the values, rebuilding values in Nigeria. Okay, so who are the we's now? Because I said something the other time, indirectly. I said, what about, I was trying to know if we, as citizens, if we have roles to play. Because there was a time back then that Nigerians were celebrated, you know, we had this good image. The projection was okay, especially, you know, how can we then bring back the goodwill and enthusiasm we enjoyed at independence? Back then, it was beautiful. Back then, you know, we had a good position globally. So how can we, and if there's we, is it the government, is it the people, and of course, she said something about the role of the media and communication professionals. What's your take on it?
So, of course, we all have a role to play, but I think we need to start from government because they are the ones who can push policy, implement policy. And I think we can start from public institutions. For instance, our police force. It's one of the, when anybody comes into the country, one of the very first people they come in contact with is the police. One of the things that gives even the average Nigerian perception of what the country is today is when you see the police force. Let's reform the police force, for instance. Shifa Falana has said that let's change it from police force to police service so that they know that it's not about force. They are there to serve the people. And I buy the idea. Let's change the logo from elephant to something much more friendly, something that looks beautiful. I don't understand.
Like what?
I mean, if you're a police force, you should. I mean, we can use the eagle. Yes. Something. Why using the elephant? I don't see what advantage the elephant has. And some people say, oh, the elephant is associated with roadblock that can block road. And so, you know, and it cannot move. It's slow. It's not fast. It doesn't have the best of vision. It's just bulky. So let's use something else, and then so let's
metaphor.
Yes. So let's reform the police force.
Okay.
Let's condemn bribery. See, when we start reforming all the public institutions, Nigerians will get the message. Then, of course, the media houses, you have a job to play. I think the media is doing a lot in this country, across board, even state-owned media. I mean, I've been impressed. 10, 20 years ago, it was worse. Nobody listens to state media. They just assume that they'll just be singing praises from the morning till night. But in recent times, we have seen media houses, state-owned media houses, pushing out facts, which I feel is the best. Because when it comes down, the media house is not owned by the political class. It's owned by the people. And the political class that is here today might not be there tomorrow. So then the people have the role to play. And I feel that we must have leaders across board amongst the citizens. There must be NGOs, religious clerics. Everybody must play their role to ensure that we give the country a good image. So everybody must contribute to it. And as we are contributing to it, the sum total will project an image. You won't even need so much of rebranding again. It will just be exactly
what it is.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
the real thing.
Okay, still talking about rebuilding. What are these strategies you feel should be implemented if we want good results?
So, I believe that before we can talk of the thorough rebuilding, there are injuries, long-term injuries and pains that have been nursed across the country. Ethnic groups, the young people of Nigeria are offended, and they are not happy. I must say it. And what happened in October 2020 NSAS, somebody has to stand somewhere to apologize to the Nigerian youth. Somebody has to, and I believe the government one day will come on board and would apologize and do what it needs to do and set a memorabilia or a monument along that line. You see, because when people are pained and have been hurt, they can't cooperate with whatever rebuilding values you have. Let's apologize across board. I mean, the Biafran war had come and gone. I'm not sure that the country has really moved on from the ghost of the Biafran war. Has any government come out to apologize to the Igbo ethnic group? I'm not an Igbo man, but if they are part of us. Somebody has to say we are sorry.
We are all Nigerians.
We are all Nigerians. Whatever pain, whatever, so that we can heal. Not just them, also the middle belts. And some other minority groups that have suffered one injustice or the other. Somebody has to say on behalf of the Nigerian government, we are sorry. And we're ready to move on. Then we can also say, so what are the terms of agreement? How should we move on as a people? What values? What punishment will we put in place for anybody who tries to contest or speak and try to divide us again along ethnic lines? What should be the heavy punishment for them? Or whoever is, you see somebody today is accused of stealing money, is then remembers he's an Igbo man, or remembers an Hausa man, then comes dressed in full regard. You're a thief, man. Stand face your. Yes, so don't come and try and show that you are being victimized because you are from a certain tribe. If you stole, go and answer your name.
Yes.
So when we heal across board, when there's apology across board, and say never again should anybody who falls below this value should be allowed to lead us across all leadership positions in the country.
Okay. So what are some common pitfalls or mistakes that Nigerians should avoid in this rebranding or rebuilding effort?
So there must be something that is written. Something that is written that we can always refer to. Some say our constitution, but I think maybe something added to the constitution. Today, let me give an example. In any sport event that Japan participates, be it World Cup, be it one of the things that they do, including the Japanese spectators, you will see them after the game. They will pick all the papers, pick all the dirt, keep it clean. Go to their dressing room. Japan, it's a culture. They will never leave the place untidy or dirty. They've been raised that way. Whatever we say we want, now, some of us we can no longer change again. Like they will say, that we have become dried fish that cannot be bent.
Yeah.
But I think we can start from the schools. Start from the schools. Let's start teaching our children basic, even what we call diligence, the pride in work. We have to start introducing it again from cradle. Some of us, we need to just go get on with it and just go. But there must be a new generation that has an idea of what the Nigerian dream of value should be. We will keep trying to use laws to keep people comply, but we need a generation that is self-compliant, not those who are being forced to comply. For instance, when I eat and I eat stuff in my car and the rest, I keep it in the car.
Yep.
So I cannot understand how somebody will be driving on the road. The road is really neat. You are seeing it. And you throw out a food wrap, you throw banana peels out of the window on the road. I know it's a conscious thing.
Yes.
So, but if you start having a generation, young people who are already getting used to it,
The
that
mindset
it's
of
wrong for you to
value.
drive against the traffic. You know, when we start having it from, and I think it has been introduced as national ethics, as a subject, as something that be taught across board. If we don't do it, the generation coming, their propensity to outdo us in whatever thing we're doing now is high.
Because they're actually watching and
They are
listening.
watching and learning.
Yes. Mr. Olonimoye, I would like us to talk about, I'm sure that we must have had administration who has come and made effort to, have this rebranding, but it never worked. And I'm sure that perhaps, okay, let me not be too absolute. There are some factors, affecting this effort, challenges facing, the government while they're trying to do this. Let's talk about that. What's your take on it? What do you think? Do you think it's true? Yes, let's talk about the challenges. Sometimes you might want to make effort,
Yes,
and you
true.
see that the effort is being frustrated, Yes, and as Nigerians too, we too have roles to play, just like you've made mention earlier. What's your take on it?
There was a former minister of information, the late Mrs. Dora Akinwumi. She tried to rebrand the country, Nigeria, good people, great nation. She even wanted us to stop saying Niger. That, but again, I don't think our problem is Niger. Niger has traveled far. Nigeria is a part of us. People still call United States of America Yankee, and of course, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But she tried to do a lot of rebranding, good people, great nation. I think we must also look at the films that are being produced in the country and the kind of music that is being released. What are the lyrics of this music? And I think we must clamp hard on musicians who want to glorify cybercrime, drug trafficking. You hear some music and this is just, today and we must look at it. The speed at which young people are abusing substances today is alarming. It's alarming. And it's because you see, if somebody is an accomplished musician, is on stage, you see he's drinking, we must stop those things. That's where it starts from. And that's why I believe that, yes, these people also, because their image, people who look up to them.
Their image builders.
You check their social media profiles, they have many followers, many people subscribe to them. So we must condemn nudity, condemn abuse of substance, condemn anything that glorifies cyber crime. We must stop that. There's one that says money in water and then just throws it. They show videos of them throwing bills of money. It must be completely stopped. And government must clamp hand on things like that, so that the coming generation can begin to see that, yes, there's sanity. And this is not how to be a leader. And this is not what society should be about. There was a time, some years ago, when we had mothers of Yahoo boys and a kind of association, and they were trying to protect. I said, mothers of Yahoo boys.
How did you get
here?
We
are there finally. So such that there is a general awareness that something must not be had in the public, so that we do not become a country that has a fantastic set of law in our constitution, but in reality, we are working against it.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. I want to ask this a final question. Our children are already being taught national values in school. You made mention of national values in school as part of their curriculum, but like we know, children learn more from adults, from what they see, from parents at home, teachers, and every other thing. So are you trying to say that there's a disconnection between what they are being taught in school and what they are being taught at home?
So if you say they are being taught national values, do you mean as a topic or as a subject?
As a subject.
Is it that under civic education?
Yes.
Civic education is the subject. Maybe at some point they will take national values. I think I taught, as a comment, I taught civic education.
Okay.
So I know that amongst other things, but I'm talking of national values as something on its
As
own,
a core subject
on its own, and then we have something short or brief that all children know by their, offhand, and they know that this or thing must live. So on one hand, they must be taught that. Number two, they must also see examples.
Exactly.
Somebody will say that no matter what we tell our children to do, they will only do the things they see.
They see you do.
So, but the teaching side by side with the action,
the theory and the practical.
Sometimes it contradicts themselves where you teach a child, you place this way, and they go home, they see their parents doing a different thing. So now, how would that child be able to learn and adapt or adjust to the system that this is supposed to be like this and not like this?
I also, one of these days, we'll also have a hall of shame in the country. Yes.
When we have a hall of shame.
Yes, hall of shame.
We should also have all of
that. We have a catalog of people who have not done, examples of people we don't want our children to be like. This one is this one is that. This is not the kind of leadership we want. We hope one day we'll have a leadership that will say, this is not where we are going to, this is where
Are you
we
sure
want
we'll
to
not
go.
be violating some rights if we do that?
Exactly.
Somebody has been convicted for certain crimes, there's no violating of rights. It's in law that sexual offenders, there should be a sexual offenders list across the country. So why don't you have people also who are breaking lives of people, and we prepare a special catalog for them, and they know them in history that this one, so they have done what is wrong. This is not where we want to go, and this is the Hall of Fame. This is where we want to go.
I think it will serve as a deterrent.
And the children
like,
can now tell.
Yes. On this.
Yes, and the children can tell that this is not how to go. This is how to go.
I would want to be associated with this set of people.
We had an incident a few months ago concerning Kwam 1 that was given an award. Some people, some children will see that and they want to emulate. Now that he's an ambassador, so maybe some children want to see that and want to emulate his kind of person to get an award for a wrong thing. So I don't know if there is a way we can balance the two.
That's one of the things we don't understand about the country. Somebody tried to stop a plane from flying, and then within 2 weeks, it's gotten an award.
Aside just Kwam 1, we also have
another lady. So we have all manner of things in the country, and that's why we must, maybe the Ministry of Information also have a ministry that guides our national ethics. That anything that does not conform to it, they wake up to it and they denounce it and they push against it. If we don't look at that, the country is fast sliding, suggesting that you cannot define what it means to be a Nigerian again.
Although, there are sayings that this ambassadorship that is being given to them is more of a psychological way of reforming them. But, because of our time, let's just, as a country trying to rebuild and rebrand, what do you think we should just do? No,
we are not yet trying to rebuild and rebrand. That's the truth. We are hoping that we would take it much more seriously. We are hoping that we have gotten to the rock bottom. It won't go lower than where we presently are. So we must... part of the way to go to rebuild is to say the facts as it is and say this is where we are. So when somebody is coming and saying we are zero already,
you have to identify the problem.
We are already, so that we can now get out of the woods and start rebuilding what it means to be a Nigerian. So we must have a point where we talk true to ourselves, talk true to leadership, and the people. The media also must preach these things out. When somebody has done what is wrong, there should be a collective shame. No, we shouldn't do something like this. I think when we start saying the truth, then we can now say we have started the journey to rebuilding ourselves.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Henry Olonimoyo. Yes, like you said, you need to identify the problem if you want to tackle the problem. Thank you so much. All right, let's go to our newsroom to take developing stories. And when we come back, we'll focus on the big stories that made it throughout this week. Please stay with us.
Ready for the most wonderful time of the year. Osrc Media Group presents a magical Christmas celebration for kids of all ages.
That's right. It all begins from the 8th to 12th December. Father Christmas will be visiting schools across the state to share various exciting gifts. So, if your school would like a special visit from Father Christmas of Osrc, hurry now and register your school. Bookings are already open and slots are filling up fast.
It will also be at the Osrc Christmas Grotto, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Ready to meet your little ones. Take lovely photos and hand out amazing gifts for just 2,500 naira.
Wow, and that's not all. On Boxing Day, December 26th, it's the OSRC Media Group Children's Fun Fair. For just 3,000 naira per child, your kids will enjoy bouncy castles, funny mascots, meet MC Clown, DJ Lewis, on the wheels of steels, and loads of fun surprises.
Vendors, here is your chance to shine. Book a stand now and be part of the 2025 OSRC Christmas Fun Fair.
And while the kids are having fun, don't miss our daddies and mommies corner with tasty treats, sizzling asun, and festive vibes all round.
For inquiries, call 0803-475-1621, 0803-563-5646.
And you can call 0703-358-4355 or 0803-499-2058.
Mark your calendars, December 8th to 12th.
It's the OSRC Media Group Christmas Extravaganza, where fun, laughter, and memories come along.
Now I'm telling you why Santa Claus is coming to town.
Hello and welcome to Developing Stories. I'm Obi Chukwemeka Oti. Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to the welfare, career growth and pension payments of civil servants. Speaking at the 2025 Public Service Week celebration, Governor Aiyedatiwa affirmed that workers' welfare remain a top priority in his development agenda. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole has details.
The International Culture and Event Center, the Dome in Akure, hosted the grand finale of the 2025 Public Service Week, welcoming workers from Ondo State alongside top government officials led by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. The event, themed Rejuvenating Public Service for Effective Service Delivery, featured a special lecture. In his welcome address, Head of Service Bayo Philip described the occasion as a chance to celebrate the dedication, resilience, and professionalism that characterize Ondo State's public service.
In a fast-changing world, governance is evolving. Citizens' expectations are higher than ever, while technology continues to redefine how institutions operate. To remain effective, therefore, the public service must move from routine to result. We must move from process to performance and from excuses to excellence.
In separate goodwill messages, Chairman of the Civil Service Commission, Ajose Kudenyibu, and Chairman of the Local Government Service Commission, Femi Idris, described Ondo State workers as a true reflection of the government.
The civil service is the engine of government, which means that the operators of the civil service must be trained, they must be properly trained.
Workers in Ondo State, you are the mirror of Ondo State government. You are the first contact to any outside world.
Former Ekiti State Head of Service and guest lecturer, Dr. Olugbenga Fashiluka, stressed the need to rejuvenate Nigeria's public service through a robust policy and legal framework that can tackle poverty, corruption, insecurity, and politicization of appointments. Fashiluka said the country's economic and social challenges have weakened governance and hindered public institutions.
The federal government has increased the retirement age of teachers from the provisions of the regulation to 40 years. The regulation has not been amended. So, an attempt by the service of the bureaucracy or its leadership to draw the attention of government to that is what might be referred to as power of opposition, and which we must be properly understood.
He urged stakeholders to continuously reinvent the public service for relevance. Governor Aiyedatiwa congratulated Ondo State workforce and reaffirmed his administration's commitment to their welfare.
It is common knowledge that the strength of government lies in the competence and dedication of its workforce. The public service remained the technical and professional hub of governance. Every successful policy, developmental strides, and positive change that citizens feel begins with the diligence of public servants. The public service represents both the administrative and professional officers as well as other categories of supporting staff who provide institutional knowledge and carry out day-to-day functions.
He also noted efforts to strengthen public institutions and enhance service delivery by recruiting new personnel into key sectors of the state's workforce.
We are fully committed to motivating our workforce. Therefore, we will continue to prioritize the welfare of workers, ensuring that public servants are empowered to perform optimally. The modest achievements we have recorded in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and agriculture under our ease policy thrust are products of your unwavering commitment and cooperation. For this, I say a big thank you to all of you.
Outstanding individuals were honored with awards of excellence in recognition of their contributions to the growth and development of the state. From the International Culture and Event Center, the Dome in Akure, Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
The House of Representatives has passed a resolution urging the Federal Ministry of Education and the West African Examinations Council to suspend the commencement of its into 2026, citing inadequate facilities and preparation. Adopting a motion of urgent national importance by Representative Kelechi Nwogu, the House noted that technical glitches that led to shortening down of WAEC's 2025 result portal are indications that time is not ripe for commencement of the computer-based examination policy. Lawmaker also condemned poor sanitary conditions in some parts of the nation's capital, while also highlighting security threats posed by non-functional streetlights in Abuja and its environs. Meanwhile, educationists and language advocates have faulted the federal government's decision to reverse the 2022 National Language Policy, describing it as a development, national identity, and cultural preservation. The Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, had earlier announced that English would now serve as the sole language of instruction in Nigerian schools from the primary to tertiary level. Alausa argues that teaching children in their mother tongue had contributed to poor performance in public examinations. However, several academics and education experts describe the reversal as unwise, anti-developmental, and a policy somersault that undermines research-backed gains of learning in one's first language. Away from education, the federal government has reaffirmed a determination to strengthen Nigeria's health system resilience for sustainable and inclusive care, pledging increased funding, expanded insurance coverage, and deeper digital transformation in the state. For Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isiaq Salako, speaking at the 2025 Joint Annual Review meeting in Abuja, said the government remains committed to building a health system that truly serves all Nigerians in line with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. According to him, the last half-decade has tested health systems globally in unprecedented ways, from COVID-19 to the sharp reduction in donor assistance. Salako stated both incidents exposed vulnerabilities, but also approved the power of coordinated action, innovation, and political commitment. He noted that Nigeria's health indicators have improved modestly in recent years. He highlighted the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund as a major domestic investment driving progress in primary healthcare delivery, with absorption capacity rising from 45% in 2019 to 78% in 2023. He urged stakeholders to continue to demonstrate accountability and collaboration, emphasizing that resilience would require sustained investment, political will, and technical excellence. The Senate is in the process of repealing and reenacting Nigeria's Armed Forces Act, part of which makes provision to prohibit enlistment of persons below 18 years. This is in alignment with Child Rights Act and international humanitarian standards. Other proposals in the bill seek extension of protections and rights to non-commissioned officers to boost morale and fairness. The bill, sponsored by Senator Abdulaziz Atwa, also seeks to reinforce the President's constitutional authority as Commander-in-Chief and vest the day-to-day operational command in the Chief of Defense Staff. When passed and assented to, qualified military lawyers will be able to represent the armed forces in civil courts. Now, talking sports, President Bola Tinubu has rallied the Super Eagles to remain resolute until they secure in the USA, Canada, and Mexico, after going one step closer with a 4-1 win over Gabon in the African playoffs. And with that sports story, we'll conclude developing stories, but don't go away as Perspectives continues. Good morning.
ẹ̀yin ọmọ wẹ́wẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ondo òbí àtàlágbàtọ́ ǹjẹ́ ti ṣetán fún àjọyọ̀ ẹ̀bùn àríyá ọdún kérésìmesì tọdún yìí bàbá kérésì ń bọ̀ láti Róòmù síléeṣẹ́ Osrc l'Ákúrẹ́.
lóòótọ́ ni ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ látọjọ́ kẹjọ sọ́jọ́ kejìlá oṣù kejìlá ọdún yìí lájọyọ̀ kérésìmesì yóò máa sọkútù wọ̀wọ̀ nílé iṣẹ́ wa Osrc níbi tí bàbá kérésìmesì yóò ti wà ń kalẹ̀ pẹ̀lú onírúurú ẹ̀bùn fáwọn ọmọ láti dédé aago 10 òwúrọ̀ ságo 4 ìrọ̀lẹ́ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ náà. Oh my God, ẹ̀wẹ̀ má jà sọ̀rọ̀ jù 2,500 lówó ìwọlé forí kọ̀ọ̀kan. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ni bàbá kérésì yóò máa káàkiri àwọn iléèwé láti pín àwọn onírúurú ẹ̀bùn. Ìyẹn wá ni pé iléèwé tó bá fẹ́ àbẹ̀wò bàbá kérésìmesì ilé-iṣẹ́ Osrc ní kó tètè wá forúkọ sílẹ̀ báyìí o kí wọ́n sì gbà láago lọ́gán.
kò wá tọ́ síbẹ̀ o ọjọ́ 26 oṣù kejìlá ọdún yìí Boxing Day gan ni bábánbárì àríyá Osrc ó wá sọlẹ̀ níbi táwọn ọmọ àtẹ̀yìn òbí yóò ti fi gbádùn ṣayọ̀ pẹ̀lú àríyá tí ò lópin. àwọn nǹkan ìṣeré àràmàǹdà lóríṣiríṣi bíi bouncy castle, Spiderman tí ń banijó, Benten, Batman àtọ̀pọ̀ àwọn nǹkan tá a lè dárúkọ tán ni ó dá àwọn ọmọ yín lára yá lọ́jọ́ náà. bẹ́ẹ̀ sì rèé ọ̀pọ̀ ìdíje ìjẹ̀bù lóríṣiríṣi ni yóò wà ń kalẹ̀ ìdíje ijójíjó tá a mọ̀ tó ń tàwọn amúlùdún apanilẹ́rìn pẹ̀lú orin àsìkò látọwọ́ DJ Louis tó ta lẹ́nu.
báwọn ọmọ yín ti ń ṣe ń jẹ ìgbádùn onírúurú agbo ìṣeré bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ̀yin dádì àti mọ́mí ó máa gbádùn ara yín lágbo àsún sports 3,000 naira péré ló kájú gbogbo ẹ̀ pátápátá.
àǹfààní tó wá ṣí sílẹ̀ o fáwọn tó fẹ́ àyè láti tajà ọdún lásìkò àríyá yìí fún ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé.
ẹ pè 0803-475-1621 0803-563-56 0646 0703 358 4355 tàbí 0803 499 2058.
àríyá kérésìmesì iléeṣẹ́ OSRC tọdún yìí má jẹ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí fún ọ o ọdún àyàbọ̀ fún gbogbo wa o àmín.
Welcome back. This is Perspective. And before we went on the break, we had a guest and we spoke about the federal government urging advertising and communication sector to help rebrand Nigeria. And we also talked about what Nigeria actually needs. It's not about the rebranding. It's about identifying that we actually do need to rebrand and do the needful towards achieving those goals. And yes, we are back to the trending stories for today, and that brings us to the one that comes from the Minister of Defense, Mohammed Badaru Abubakar, who said that no officer or soldier on lawful duty would be punished as a result of the altercation that ensued between soldiers and the Minister of the FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike, in Abuja on Tuesday. Speaking on the occasion of the ministerial briefing to flag off the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration at the National Defense College, Badaru said, "We will always protect officers and our armed forces personnel on lawful duty. Any officer on lawful duty will be protected if he is doing his job lawfully and if he does it well." Recall that after the altercation between the minister and the officer who led soldiers to safeguard a landed property in Abuja, a coalition of retired veterans of the Nigerian military had vowed that their members would mobilize and occupy the ministry of the FCT in Abuja if the officer, who it said was acting on a lawful order, was punished in any way. What do you have to say? I know we have a lot to say about the video. I wish we could actually lay our hands on the video, but yes.
I saw the video though. I saw the video and I saw what transpired between both the soldier, the military guy, and the minister.
The minister.
FCT, and the reaction from people was, well, yeah, the defense minister said that if the guy, the military guy there, if he was acting, based on the law, what the law says, and it's not an illegal, standpost. They're just manning that place, and then he won't be punished. But if not, then okay. And we had a lot of talk about that. Some people believe that Wike is also representing Minister Wike is also representing the president, and so it should be respected as well. In all of this, well, my opinion, to my mind, my opinion, I said that in all of this, what I find so wrong is the choice of word.
The choice of words.
Yes. Why would you say full? No, you won't say that to me because I'm on duty.
It's derogatory.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
It is.
And I guess that was what prompted the soldier to stand on his ground and said, I am not what you claim I am. I am a 3-star general. I think that, and that was what raised them. You see, Nigerians were like, oh, yes. Although if he says that it's in the line of duty, I think this is something talking about authorities from two different...
They are both representing,
yes,
they're both
representing the president.
Directly or indirectly, they are both
Yes.
representing the president. And so, for someone to...
It should have been handled maturely.
We obey orders. We write memos in I said we. I'm not a military person. They don't write memos and taking files from one. It is all about order. You obey the last order, obey the instruction. You don't make excuses. So, and I saw something that played out there. Did you notice that the guy? I mean, when Minister Wike called and handed over the phone to the guy, even after that, the guy still did not
Move.
So we cannot say exactly what happened, why the guy will not, will not move. Something happened there. We are
Like you said, they obey orders.
they obey orders. They obey orders. So if the order was a clear one, yeah, so if he had told the guy, stay away, let him, then the guy would have.
But then we don't even know who he called.
Exactly.
So we don't know if,
From
it's,
what
I
he
guess
said-
it's the person that gave the order that can actually tell you,
From
okay,
from
you
what
need to-
from what the way the guy sounded,
Yes.
we can tell that
It's a
superior, but we
yes.
don't know who
exactly
exactly.
it was.
What if he's not the person that gave the
The
order?
order.
That's it.
Yes.
That's why I said it has to be the person that gave the order.
know,
that
You
will
are a
tell
minister.
okay.
You come and soldier go, soldier come. How do they say it?
Yes.
It's by appointment. But in the military, I mean, this is my career. This is my life. This is the training
what I
and all.
stand for.
Yes, this is where exactly. So, I think while we're doing that, because just as some people said, while we are trying to, while we're carrying out our duties, we should also be mindful that we should not disrespect people,
But I don't
regardless
think he
of
disrespected
when he said
from the-
when he used the choice
The
of
word.
Okay,
That's
from the
quite
minister.
yes.
Okay, yes.
It's
I'm talking
yes.
about from the
Is
soldier,
the
Navy
stateful, is
officer.
disrespect. No, we should
Yes.
not do that while we're trying to.
Picking from where what you said, that they respect others, they take orders. I don't know if I should use this word. Their soldiers are more like zombies.
I did really, but
Yes.
the
They
training,
follow
the training,
the training, yes.
Yeah.
The training. I served in the barrack, so most of this their life, I kind of know how it is. You cannot give a soldier an instruction and he disobey. He dares not. So if you tell a soldier stand, he's going to stand there.
Come
here,
Even
come
if they are shooting,
you have to
he
say
will
that.
he will be there, because the penalty is there too. You disobey order, you go sleep for guard room. That's their word.
Yeah.
You go to the guard room.
Their
Their penalty. They can do running, frog jump, whatever they want to, whatever
Or being
punishment.
court-martialed
Just
too.
yes,
They can
just
be,
being
yes.
disobedient. So that soldier, being on his duty post, should be respected first. If the minister came and there are ways to do all these things, you cannot enter the land.
And they ask, okay, and you
Who on which order are you
yes.
standing on? Okay, I'm standing on this person's order. Okay, let me call. Let me put the call through. It's as simple as that. He puts a call through. Whoever gave the soldier man the authority or the right to be there is just a phone call. Leave that
You
place.
didn't have to get to the point of tussle
Exchanging
of power,
words.
because I felt it was not looking like a tussle of power. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I am here.
I'm the
not
boss
moving,
here, you're
and
the
other
boss
one is
here.
like, okay, me too. I'm here, and I need
It's
you
not
to do
necessary.
this. So it wasn't necessary.
It's not necessary. I'm coming from the minister, the bigger guy here, and the older person here. He should play the mature role
And I think this is
by
what we're
walking
talking
away.
about. Rebranding doesn't even have to do with
Age
the
or
exercising of the
maturity.
Exactly.
power.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's
It has
not. It's
to
not
do
a
with the
product.
people
It's not
in
good.
power.
Yes.
They should start from them, because when we're talking about rebranding now you can see when you do things like this, it's going to be out there. Like everything about Nigeria, you don't even need to be in Nigeria to know. Just like our
Yes,
analyst
he said
when
earlier.
you just type Nigeria, everything,
you get everything.
It's
It's
out
out
there.
there.
The minister said something that I think he banned
The use of
the use of
phone.
phone. Was it necessary? What are you hiding? What is it you're not hiding?
And to even
because I think he's ashamed of what happened. Kind of. I feel he's ashamed for him to say phone should not be used anymore. Then he's surprised that such incident went out to the public.
I mean,
and he's kind of ashamed of himself for bringing himself that low.
Sharon, in the video, I saw people taking photos and taking, making a film of what is happening. And so how come? Why won't we have such? I mean, nothing is hidden. Nothing can be hidden. And to say that it's coming from someone like, well, not me, people. Known for
there's a nickname.
Yes,
they
yes.
call
Who
him.
won't even obey the law in the first place, and flouting rules and all. So, what I want to say, I think he has. Well, not. I think he has made enemies, and then
Lots
they
of
just
enemies.
yes, and people just want to take advantage of this
Lots of enemies.
case, and well, we can do better,
Yes, we
and
can.
it's still part of the rebranding.
This is not the first time an
Rebranding.
incident like this is happening. Remember a time where an Uber driver, or I think either Uber or Bolt, that had to do a delivery.
Yes.
Yes, and he was being beaten, slapped
Yes.
up and down. It is not necessary.
Abuse of
If
power.
if someone is doing he or her duty, he or she should be respected no matter what, even if it's a cleaner. Sometimes we look down on these cleaners and all those people that do the easy job, so we see, but it's not that easy. If someone is doing their duty, we should be able to respect them, whether we are God or we are not. Everyone should be respected. Everyone. There's dignity in labor. Everyone should be respected. Even if they're packing dirt on the street, they should be respected too, because they're not stealing. They're not doing something illegal. They are doing the right thing, and they should be respected for it. So, for me, I think an apology should come out from our minister.
Yes, and
An apology should come out. He should be the bigger guy
Yeah,
here.
because I think it's
even veteran in that field,
yeah.
they've said
Some
that.
people are
They've
saying
said
It's constitutionally wrong for you to abuse a man on uniform.
Yes,
Be it the police officer,
exactly.
the navy, the soldier. Like, if it's a uniform man, I don't think you should actually abuse.
Some people are saying that the soldier is wrong, that he's not supposed to involve himself in civil matters. But their duty is to protect lives and property. So, being there, he's also doing his job.
All right, thank you so much. Let's move on to other trending stories. The African Union chief said that there was no genocide in Nigeria's volatile north after U.S. President Donald Trump claimed that Christians were being slaughtered by jihadists and faced an existential threat. Trump this month threatened to carry out an armed intervention in Nigeria, saying we're killing Christians in very large numbers. The U.S. leader said Christianity was facing an existential threat in the West African nation, adding that if Nigeria does not stem the killings, the United States will attack, and it will be fast, vicious, and swift, I guess. Chair of the African Union Commission, Mohamed Ali Yusuf, told the press conference on Wednesday in New York that there is no genocide in the northern part of the country. The complexity of the situation in northern Nigeria should push us to think twice before making. He said that the first victims of Boko Haram, the most prominent jihadist group in the region, are Muslims and not Christians. And I think I'm going to come in here and say, yes, maybe the first victims then by this Boko Haram were Muslims and not Christians. But let's talk about facts. Let's be factual. The recent killings in Benue, Plateau State, the communities that are being targeted, they are Christian communities.
Yeah.
So regardless if maybe they might have started where they started, but that notwithstanding, let's be factual. The communities that are being targeted recently are Christian communities. So, but I'm not even in the case of, it's a genocide or it's not. I'm not trying to debunk anything or say, it is or it is not. But what I'm saying is there is need for security in the country.
Yeah.
That is what, if the country is secure, there's no way Trump will come and say, Christians are facing this or Muslims are not facing this. What needs to be done is ensuring that our security in the country is intact.
Okay, let's bring it down to Ondo State.
Okay.
We had a similar incident some years ago in one of the Catholic church in Owo. It was that a Muslim gathering? It's a Christian gathering. In the church, Now let's leave religion out of this. Whether be it Christian, Muslim, we are Nigerians.
We are Nigerians.
People are dying.
Yeah.
People are dying on a daily basis because of this what's it called, Boko Haram and the rest.
Terrorist groups.
It does not matter whether they are Christians or Muslims. We are
Or even
first
Pakistan
Nigerians. We are
worshippers.
humans.
Yes.
And we have every right to live. So if they are saying that Christians are dying or Muslims are dying, it doesn't matter. The main point is humans are going. Nigerians are dying.
Exactly.
That is what they should look at. Not saying Muslims or Christians or idol worshippers. Whatever religion, we have freedom to worship anywhere and whatever you want to worship. So the thing is, Nigerians are dying. So what should we do about it?
Yes, regardless of the religion.
It doesn't matter religion. It doesn't matter any tribe or ethnicity. We are all Nigerians first. So what are we putting in place to make this not to be whether it's genocide or reoccurring incidents anymore? If they are saying, if Donald Trump says that they are killing Christians and we are saying they're not killing Christians, then we should say they are killing Nigerians. Nigerians are dying. Nigerians are killing Nigerians. I don't know if I should say something like that, but Nigerians are killing Nigerians, and something needs to be done. Not religion. We should remove, because when it comes to religion, people know how to play. We know how to play sentiments with it.
But then, if you say that, can we talk about the percentage? Yes, because Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria is still insisting that it is happening.
Yes.
It is happening. We have Christian genocide, and of course, so the percentage. Let's look at that. If you say, yeah, I quite agree with you that we are all humans first before we begin to talk about
Religion.
But some people do not want to agree that. I mean, they believe that the attack is more
On the Christians.
on the Christians. Yes, the attack. Of course, I just mentioned the Pentecostal
PFN.
Yes, PFN, insisting that the genocide is true, Christian genocide is true. So, how do we then treat that?
You know, when Trump said he was coming down to Nigeria, our
And you saw
president
the,
and every other
I'm sorry
place,
to cut
okay?
into your flow. And you also saw the video of the pastor, this pastor
From
from
Kano?
Yes, that pastor that was disturbed and troubled.
Yes.
And yes, I saw the videos. I was so emotional about it. Yes, I was. I got so emotional when I saw the video. And he stood where they had the names of people, Christians who had died, and where they were. And he said he even had conducted the burial service for some dead bodies, and he had to bury them. He was the one doing.
It's
So it got to
painful.
him, and he knows what he's saying.
Okay, must we wait until Trump said something before the
Action
Nigerian
should be
president
taken.
should take actions
Action,
or something?
exactly.
Should we wait till when an outsider
Comes
comes
to
to tell us our
intervene.
own problem or comes to interfere? We know these things. We know what to do. It's not as if we don't know what to do. We know what to do, but we are not doing it.
And I'm quite concerned because, Bishop Cooker, you know him, we all know him as a popular guy, yes. And the other day, in 2021, I guess, was talking about, he was worried about this genocide. And all of a sudden, he's saying something contrary now. So I'm wondering, is there something behind the scene? I mean, why is he coming? I mean, yeah, some people attacked him to say that he's been inconsistent when it comes to this. The other day you said, yes, it's true, Christian genocide is real
And
in
today
Nigeria.
you're saying
you
it's
declared,
not?
yes, and today you say it's not. Does that suggest anything?
should stand one
Should
place.
there, is it about that? Or are you sure there's nothing going behind the scene?
Or maybe he's trying to play politics. You know, everything is politics here.
Like our analyst said, before you can actually tackle a problem, you need to identify that there's a problem.
Exactly.
We need to accept the fact that there is a problem.
I'm not denying it.
And stop denying.
And
We are
not
denying
yes.
it.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next. We have the federal government has suspended the implementation of the 15% hard valorem import duty earlier approved on imported premium. Could trigger fresh increase in fuel prices and worsen inflation. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority announced the suspension in a statement signed by its Director of Public Affairs, George Enna Ita. The duty, which was approved by President Bola Tinubu in October 2025, formed part of a fiscal measure aimed at aligning import costs with local production realities and supporting the growth of domestic refineries. The approval conveyed through a letter by the President's private secretary, Damilotu Aderemi, was based on a proposal from the Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, ZAC, Adedeji. Adedeji had urged that the new tariff framework would promote fairness in the downstream sector and encourage locally refined fuel while ensuring that importers did not undercut domestic producers. The core objective of this initiative is to operationalize crude transactions in local currency, strengthen local refinery capacity, and ensure a stable, affordable supply of petroleum products across Nigeria, he stated in his memo to the President. He further explained that the measure was corrective, not revenue-driven, and intended to stabilize the market by addressing pricing gaps between imported and locally refined products. The policy was expected to take effect after a 30-day transition period ending on November 21st, 2025.
I kind of like that, you know. It's a good one, of course, and it shows that they are listening up there. Well, it's an improvement. I like that. But then, why the need for that in the first place? We've had this back and forth on policies, back and forth. They bring it up and then they take it back. They bring it. Is it that there's no synergy between the parties? What exactly is happening? Why do we have more of policies that are not in the interest of people? Why is it so? Why do we have such? And then you bring it up, and then later you mean. Does that mean that these things are not getting to the president first, and then when he gets to find out, and then he takes it back? You know what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
So why should they even bring it?
Following through the appropriate channels?
I don't.
Are you taking like, are you putting other people through that? Oh, this is what
exactly.
You know, you just wake up and take decision of your own.
When it's talking about policy making, you don't make policies yourself. Your cabinet needs to.
That's why they are there.
That's why they are there. So are we just coming out to bring out this policy, and then when the cabinet or Nigerians start reacting,
and then
take it back?
Should they even wait for us to react before they take it back? I mean,
I think a lot of this year we've had this incident where they bring
policies
something to
out
us and we react to it. They go back to change it and all that. It shows they are not competent.
There should be
They're not doing their job well.
There should be a proper dialogue.
They should talk about it, agree on it, see the negative side, bring the positive side, and when they have made a conclusion about a particular thing, they can bring it out to us. If we have a feedback to give, at least we are open to do that, right?
Yeah.
So when we do that, if they listen to us and they, okay, we've heard the cry of the people and this is it, we can change it, we can make an adjustment, not making it look as if they're just playing about it or they're playing with our feelings.
Before policy should be brought out, you as a leader should have scrutinized the effects that it would have, like the positive and the
negative effects,
before putting it out there, so that even when the citizens are complaining, it should be something that you're already aware of and you would know how to tackle it.
Exactly.
So
or address
it, not now you retrieving it, because if you've already done your due diligence, I don't think the reactions from citizens should not make you take it back. If you've actually done your due diligence, it's just that before you introduce something to the market, you already know, oh, it's just like medicines. They'll tell you these are the adverse effects. So when people start having those effects,
you're already giving out warnings.
Already giving out the warnings. And you will
caution,
tackle it. But it's not now you taking back the drug and say, oh no, you don't do test and trial.
You don't.
So I think that is it. And also now with this the tariff has been suspended. I hope it's also going to reflect in the prices of the fuel.
We hope
and
so.
the tax next year now.
That's the thing.
I hope that this would not also affect us. Like they give us something
and they
look for a way to take it back. So I hope not. I hope not. I hope not. So that the poor can breathe. I beg.
Let the poor breathe.
I think that came from our president.
Yeah. Don't suffocate.
Well, at this point, they're suffocating the poor.
And we are struggling to breathe.
Okay.
Are you the poor?
Let's take another story. The Senate has approved President Bola Tinubu's request for a fresh 1.15 trillion borrowing from the domestic debt market to help finance the deficit in the 2025 budget. The approval on Wednesday was a sequel to the presentation and consideration of the report of the Committee on Local and Foreign Debt borrowing program to fund the 2025 budget deficit, chaired by Senator Aliyu Wamako, APC Sokoto North. The report was presented by the Vice Chairman, Senator Aruna Manu, PDP Taraba Central. In his presentation, Senator Manu said that the Senate do receive and consider the report of the Committee on Local and Foreign Debt for the approval of the borrowing program to fund the 2025 budget deficit. You know, when they removed the fuel subsidy, the president said no more
Borrowing.
What is going on?
It's still part of the inconsistency we mentioned about the earlier. I mean, you say something in it.
Take it back.
Integrity is key, and integrity has to do with what you say,
Yes.
and it stands, it's binding. And when you know when this will continue, I mean, begin to see it as when they say something we don't trust anymore.
Exactly.
To bring
Nigerians
about
will
that,
start
yes, we
losing
won't
the
trust them
trust
any.
in the system. You see, just the same way they are. You know, we're talking about the electoral system. You can see that inconsistency has even made Nigerians to grow political apathy.
Yes.
So now, when it's like our government now, they keep bringing policies, taking it back. They say this today, they say something else tomorrow. They start losing that trust in them that these people can actually deliver us to our promised land.
And another thing is, if you borrow, are we seeing what you're
We are
using
borrowing
this
the money for.
You know, I said
Are
something.
we?
I said something today. I was like, if our governor of Ondo State comes out and say, oh, he wants to borrow money for something, I think the residents of this of the state would say, oh yes, because currently you can see the infrastructure currently going on
He's
in
working.
Ondo State. You can see the Ondo to Ore Road. Currently, Igbatoro Imafon Road is a work in progress. The NEPA roundabout, it's no longer, I don't know if I should still call it a roundabout, because they are actually doing some work there. Now, when you borrow, we should also be able to see the
Working.
impact.
Yes, we should.
So
It's
working.
not about just saying we keep borrowing, but we don't see any progress. That is why we are calling out to say, okay, so what are we borrowing for? But when there is something that you are doing, we'll be like,
That
oh,
we are
no.
saying.
We'll even tell the government that,
Borrow
do you
more.
want more? And now the money that they are the what is borrowing, it's not even in millions. It's
It's
not
in trillions.
billion. It's in trillion. So this is why it's raising question. Are we going to see what this money is being used for? Borrowing is not the problem, but let us be able to see the impact.
You know,
let's see something.
When he first came into government, he said that removing fuel subsidy, he will channel the gains
into
other
other
sectors, that we don't need to borrow
so
much. But now we are borrowing much more. In trillions, not in millions, in trillions. And we are not saying what this borrowing, we are not saying the worth of it. It shouldn't be that we are borrowing, at the end of the day, they'll come to hold us. Come and pay your debt. We become slaves
and let's
to other countries.
Let's not also forget that the federal government also said they passed the revenue target in September. So why are they borrowing? No more borrowing. Why are they borrowing?
Please, no more borrowing.
Before
they come and carry my sister, go and pay debts that you did not even know.
I go nowhere. It's all right.
You go and pay debts you know nothing about. We only hear the money. We hear about the money. We don't see it. We don't know what it's being used for.
Just like I said, currently in Ondo State, you can see lots of
improvements,
lots of improvement, lots of things.
And the roads are clean.
I in particular, I'm so happy because the Batoro Road, it's my route, and I'm like, oh yes, I need this. Do you understand? So when you see things like that, you even be happy.
A big thumbs up to our governor there.
Of course.
You know, when we see someone doing a good thing, we should applaud them.
Yes.
You know, a big thumbs up to our governor, and he's doing well. We appreciate you. Please keep on doing the best for us.
Taking a new look.
Yes.
And I think we've also, when we talk about development and civilization, we've actually passed that stage of still using roundabout to control traffic. So I think with these new traffic lights and the rest, the regulations and this road that is trying to bring, it's a good one.
It's becoming better than other states.
I want motorists to comply. That's my own.
They will.
They should.
They will.
I've been seeing some people,
comply.
flouting that.
When it's there,
them too.
You can see the one in Alagbaka.
Because the other day I saw a bike man, even when he saw there
is always a Judah in every tour.
So, yes, let's tell citizens to also comply and support the government. It's not about they will. Some of them don't. They don't.
They need to let them know red is stop.
I think they used to teach us that song in school. Green means go.
They still need sensitization because, like I said, they are already used to the old
holding.
And we have a lot of drivers that don't even have, they didn't go through the formal training.
Maybe we should
and
start
they don't
singing these
know.
nursery rhymes to them so that they get
But
used
then
to
they
it.
can also just put officers to ensure that these.
Oh, there was this
traffic rules
officer
are
I
being-
met,
are being
I
enforced.
think on one of the roundabouts there. The guy is good. You know, you see him dancing. He does his job with so much joy and, you know, excitement.
That's at SO Johnson.
Yes, I think we
SO,
need
yeah, I
a
think
lot
that's
of them
it.
there.
All right, moving on. The former governor of Bayelsa and Rivers State, Senator Seraki Dixon and Rotimi Amechi, have sounded a warning that Nigerians' democracy is under serious threat from persistent electoral fraud, voter apathy, and political manipulation as the 2027 general election approach. The two leaders spoke at the 5th anniversary lecture of First Daily newspaper in Abuja yesterday, where political figures, diplomats, and media executives gathered to discuss the future of Nigeria's electoral system. The theme of the event was 2027, how can we make our vote count?
Oh,
Let's
really?
leave it there.
Really?
How can we make our vote count?
While I was listening to the news yesterday, and yes, I learned about that. But what came to my mind is that this guy, Rotimi Amechi,
Yes.
was once in power. And then it's like when you're in power, you do your thing. And when you're out, you criticize. But I'm not saying that this is not true or this is true.
Yes.
But then I'm like,
when you were in power, what did you do?
Didn't you do something
Because these
similar?
are the things that have it's not, it didn't just start.
You know,
it has been there.
Exactly.
So during your own tenure, what change did you make? What did you try to do?
Exactly. So that's, I mean, those were the
So
things
let's not
coming
just
to my
come out
mind.
and now, because we are no longer in the system, we feel we have the voice to criticize. But we don't forget that they said there are some things that you didn't do, or there are some things that if you are done,
that
we
you
would
did
not be
then,
happy.
but you
know,
now
I don't want to say what they did. I want to say what they didn't do.
And some they did. And some they did. But
Okay.
because you're no longer there, you come you know,
criticize.
but if someone should at that time criticize you,
It will be a problem.
you frown at it. You know.
And you know, they just
You know,
concluded.
the shoe you wear depends whether it's tight on you or fit on you. So when you tell someone the truth, sometimes it hurts. They don't want to acknowledge the truth. So it's better when you're outside telling the truth or telling the person that you're not doing the right thing than when you're inside.
You know, last weekend, that was when the Anambra State
Did the election. I saw a picture, a video of, you know, they gave gala, they gave some cash and all that. How would our votes then count?
That is it. You know, we spoke about this when we talked about people, Nigerians having high hopes, and then
Yes, and I said I had my hope
you
high.
need to do this, and I said it's not something that would just start off one day. It's a
gradual.
gradual process. This
Gradual.
thing has eaten deep. Electoral
has to be
malpractice has
gradual.
eaten deep into the system.
To the extent of bringing it out to the public, it's on air. People snapped it.
It's not going to just come out today and say, oh, I've been able to reform the system. It's going to take time. And that was why I said, even though I trust that, oh, something good will come out from this election, but I'm still open that, okay, it will take time for him to do all of that. But then, just like they said, Nigerians, and how can we, I think the question is, how can we make our vote count? It has to start with us too. You know, sometimes we say, oh, we want the leaders to do this. If the leaders come to you and you frown at them and tell them, and your answer like this, would they be able to
Nigerians and brown envelopes?
Yeah, exactly. You can't. It begins with you. They will need you. If you don't sell
Funny
your
enough,
vote, your
it's
vote
picture
will
of
count.
all these market sellers, hawkers, and all that. And these are the people that, when it becomes hard, they scream more. And you're the one still collecting small change.
So actually, how we can make our vote count begins with you.
Begins with us. It begins with you. Begins with me. Begins with everyone.
And another thing is to build trust in INEC. You know, they need that independence. Let's give them. Let's not influence anything. Let's not try to. You know, they need that independence. Let them function well. Yes. Please, let's try to build trust in them. I mean, we've given them that power to function. Then let them, allow them to. Not like you keep holding the rope and then dragging them. No, let it not be so. Okay.
All right. The House of Representatives has urged the Federal Ministry of Education and the West African Examination Council to suspend the planned introduction of computer-based testing for the 2026 school examination. The lawmakers' directive followed concerns that most schools, especially in rural areas, lack the infrastructure and manpower to support a full CBT transition. You know, I've been saying this. If you want to do something, let's consider those in rural areas. Now, we know CBT, you need electricity.
Yeah.
CBT, you also need the computer itself. CBT, these students also need to know, have the knowledge,
The
the
awareness.
know-how. It's not just about computer studies in school. Do they have that practical knowledge of the
The
usage
computer
of
study
this
that will
computer?
teach you how to on it and off it.
Do
Is
they-
that what you want to use in
it's
writing
not-
exams?
Now, that is, do they even see these computers? How many of these public schools actually have computers? Now, it's not about just teaching them computer study. Do they also have the practical knowledge
Of
of
it.
It's not saying this is a monitor, you draw it.
This is a
This
mouse.
is the mouse. This is a CPU.
I think in
So exactly,
Nigerian
that's not
academy,
it.
in Nigerian sector, we do more of drawing. You know, they want to show you a keyboard or what a keyboard is, they will draw it for you. You're only seeing the picture on the board or on your notebook. You're not seeing it in real life. You're not seeing it what it is for what it is. You're only seeing it for the picture purpose, the diagram and every other thing. You don't know what it is used for. You don't know the shape or how it looks like, except in the picture. It's the same thing even in medical schools. You know, they will bring maybe an organ from a textbook. Oh, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how the human heart, for example, is supposed to look like. Without seeing the human heart, I don't know if we are supposed to show the human heart in real, like for real or something. But that's what we do. We do more of looking at pictures than the practical aspect of it. Which brings me back to the use of language for communication. You know, how do we communicate with these people in the rural area? The village girls, the village guys. There's no village guy and village girls again, is there? Okay, how do we now communicate with them in English? For those that don't understand the English language, or for those that understand English but does not understand their native dialects, how do we then bring them into the system to educate them that, okay, this is how a monitor should be in their own dialect for them to understand? And now, writing this exam in computer, do they have a previous knowledge of it, or maybe someone is there to interpret in their own local dialects, the language which they understand, or they're just going to leave them blank like that?
You know, I think there's still a lot to do before introducing
That's it. I feel
There's
so,
still
because
a lot to do.
before federal government would ask them to write CBT examination, then you should have all of these things that you have mentioned should be put in place. And then we still have people with places, just like you said, where they don't even
They've
know
not
what
seen it.
a computer is like. They can't. So I understand that what they're trying to do is, you know, they want us to learn fast and
They want to go
the
digital.
digital, yes, of course.
But that's
But then,
troubleshooting.
if you want that, then you have to give them what it takes.
We are
to-
not ready for that yet. Nigerians are not ready for that. We've not
can
put
see
those
what
structures in
happened
place.
with is it JAM?
Yes.
Even the previous WAEC, people were using Torchlight.
Even if your
if there
jam
was-
is just two subjects, you just come, you write before subjects, you go back. Compared to
Where
why
you
that is
have
about
like
8,
to
9,
9.
if not 10 subjects to write. How do you cope with the electricity to start with? You know, first we made they said there was no light. They were using torchlight to write. Now, how do we make
I
this
just
one
feel
available?
There's still a lot to do.
Yeah.
There's still a lot to do. And
So
they should
shifting
just-
it is better.
It's best, so that they have time to prepare and
To
then
plan.
provide those things that these children need. You don't just introduce something to them at the point of the examination. They have to be familiar with it.
You have to have a
that time.
foundation to it.
Yes. All right. Moving on. A new directive to the U.S. embassies and consulates instructs officials to consider denying visas for people who suffer from chronic health issues. The guidelines sent by the U.S. State Department reportedly states that certain medical conditions, including but not limited to cardiovascular diseases, respiratory diseases, cancer, diabetes, metabolic diseases, neurological diseases, and mental health conditions can require hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of care. It also reportedly encourages visa officers to consider conditions such as obesity.
Well, if that's
The
what they
word
want.
the word they used there was fat, and it's an insult, whether we like it or not. The word they used is fat, and I know Nigerians are being insulted. We have fat people over there too. Come on, Nigerians is not just
Foreigners, not Nigerians. Is that foreigners? foreigners, so not only Nigerians.
Well, let's bring it home.
And then, Aaron, you know what? If that's what they want to be eat, then let's go back home and do our own part, our assignment. Let's work on our health facilities and health sector. Let's make it work. Let's make it function. I mean, why is it that you are in a position of power, but then you are, you have that power to fix this, but then when you have health issues, you fly out. Why is it so? Why is it so? If you don't want to be insulted, then do your own.
Funny enough, we have capable hands over here, and we have Nigerians doctor over there that are doing well. They call on them. They even prefer Nigerian doctors there. So if we can put these things in place, those hands over there can come here and do miracles for us.
This is just a call for our own government to focus on our own
Exactly.
health
It's a big slap on
because
Nigerians.
when these things are good, we don't have reasons to go there for treatment.
If our education sector, the health sector, and every other sector is on the good position, why going out?
All right, moving on. There's the heartwarming video that I don't know if we can lay our hands on it, where a lecturer is
A hand.
Leave the hand inside. Or you want me to come outside? You go quiet us now.
It's a sweet one. Yeah.
Okay, unlike some lecturers that they'll probably send the mother and the child, oh please, you are disturbing my child. So I think this is something, we are all Nigerians, we should all live together with love. It may not be your child, but it's your neighbor's child.
You know one thing with Nigerians, you know one unique thing about us, we have good hearts. Whether you like it or not, we have good hearts. We love ourselves. It's just this sentimental things, religion, politics that is trying to make us look, to divide us or make us look bad, But we are good people. We are wonderful people.
Yes,
we have good hearts for one another. So imagine a lecturer of that. I'm a lecturer. Of course, he can carry himself. I'm a lecturer.
And he can tell them, leave the class. I don't want
my
to
class.
You're making noise. Why do you have a baby? But instead,
he brought himself that low to carry the child.
That's the way it should be.
We are good people.
Humanity first, before anything.
We are good
Humanity
people. We are
first.
marvelous people. We have love in our hearts.
Okay, let's move on. Lastly, to sports. President Bola Tinubu has rallied the Super Eagles to remain resolute until they secure the qualification ticket to 2026 World Cup in the USA, Canada and Mexico, after going one step closer with a 4-1 win over Gabon in the African playoff. Akko Adams had put the Super Eagles 1-0 up in the 78th minute of regular time, but they were pegged back with just a minute left on the clock through Mario Lemina's deflected shot. AGK's restored the lead in extra time with his first goal for Nigeria before Osimhen scored a brace to take the national team tally to 31 goals in 45 matches. After the win, Tinubu took to his X account to hail the team's spirit. Nigeria will now face DR Congo in the final on Sunday, and the winner of the tie will advance to the FIFA Intercontinental Playoff in Mexico by March 2026, when 2 more tickets to the World Cup will be up for grabs.
Let's take that. Let's loud that. It's not only the bad ones we should push out. I can't wait.
Congratulations to the Super Eagles.
Yes.
Yesterday they did so well. Imagine like after the final minute, we're still able to concede like 3 extra goals. That's a good one.
That's right.
Kudos to our victors.
Oh, yes. Yes. And of course, on Sunday, Osrc Television will be airing the final playoff match between Nigeria and DR Congo on Sunday by 8 p.m. I can't wait. I can't.
A big congratulations to our Super Eagle ahead. Because for me, they've won already.
No,
We are there already. I don't know about you guys, but I'm Ready, like I'm celebrating them already. A big congratulations to us. We are doing any win for one person is win for all.
It's a win for
So
all.
it is all of us. Congratulations to us, and I'm super duper excited that we are doing it. You know, we are now known for something, at least for something good. You know, after all the stress and every other thing, at least we are there. We are there.
So let's project the good ones as well. Let us project the good ones. Okay.
Okay,
It's time up now.
We've actually said a lot, and with that, we've come to the end of today's edition on Perspective. Sharon, what do you have to say?
Okay, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Security is not one person thing. It's everybody's business. So watch out for your neighbor.
All right, rebranding is not about packaging what is not. It starts with you and me. Yes, okay. And that's my final shot for today on Perspective. So let's do a bit less of of course, we have roles to play. It's a collective effort. My name is Tess Atilayo, and it's a bye from me.
Okay, just like they've said, let's do our bid. It's a collective effort, and securing our neighborhood is not just a one-man thing. We all need to work hands in hand, work together. It's Susan Monilari, and until next week, Perspective will come your way again. It's bye for now.